This video is for the 9-4 Work Together and On Your Own. In the workbook, I'm on page 203, and in the textbook, it's on page 266. So the instructions read, the cash payments journal for Golden Fabrics and the petty cash report are given in the working papers. Your instructor will guide you through the following examples. Save your work to complete Work Together 9-5. Using October of the current year, journalize these transactions on page 10 of the cash payments journal. The checks used as source documents are abbreviated as C. So first of all, this is going to be on page 10, so I will put 10 up here for the page number of the cash payments journal. Now, the cash payments journal is only to be used when we pay with cash. And typically, the way we pay with cash most in our transactions is going to be with a check. So anytime we pay cash for anything, we're going to be using our cash payments journal. To look over this here, we have the date column, the account title column, we have a check number column, post reference column, we have general debit and credit columns, and then there are special amount columns. There's one for accounts payable debit, purchases discount credit, and a cash credit. So first one on October 2nd, we wrote a check to Built-in Communications for telephone bill, $124, that's C521. So I'm first going to put in the date, which will be October 2nd. And then this is check number 521. We will not put in the C for a check because this already says check number, so we know every number written in here is going to be a check number. So there's no need to write the C. So we wrote a check, which means that we paid cash to Built-in Communications for telephone bill. And this was not on account. And since it's not on account, we're just going to record it for the telephone bill. And our account that we use for that is called utilities expense. So this is exactly like a transaction we have done before. They're just wording it a little bit different. All of our expenses are increased with a debit, so that will be a general debit for $124. And since we are paying cash, this is going to be a cash credit for $124. So we've done a transaction like this, it's just the journal is a little bit different. On October 3rd, we wrote a check on account to Gray Manufacturing, Inc., covering purchase invoice 532 for $1,640. Less a 2% cash discount. So what can happen is that if we pay within a certain amount of time, we can take advantage of a cash discount, and typically in our examples it's going to be 2%. So what we'll do is we'll put in our date, which will be the 3rd, and we'll put in our check number, which is 522. And this was on account. We do not need to write accounts payable anymore. We only need to write the vendor that we are paying to, which is Gray Manufacturing, Inc. So first of all, the amount that we owe them was $1,640. So we are writing a check and we're paying cash, and so that means we are going to have a cash credit. But what we need to do is we need to put in the original amount that we owe them into the accounts payable debit column, and that was $1,640. Now, we are getting a discount off of that, so $1,640. And if we take it times 0.02, which is 2%, we're going to get a discount of $32.80, and that's going to go in our purchases discount credit column. So purchases discount is a contra account to purchases. It is used whenever we are getting a discount on something. So in order to calculate how much we actually have to pay them, we will need to subtract. So if I take $1,640 minus $32.80, the cash, the amount that I have to pay them is $1,607.20. Now we have to put them in this order. The accounts payable needs to have the full amount for the accounts payable debit, because if I were just to record the amount of cash that I paid, after posting, it would look like I still owed Gray Manufacturing, Inc. $32.80. And I don't owe them. I paid my entire bill. I just took an advantage of a discount. So when you do this, just make sure you put in the original amount, the full amount for the accounts payable debit, from there, calculate whatever percentage to get your discount, and then subtract to get the amount of cash that we actually have to write our check to them in order to pay our bill. The next one, on the 9th, we wrote check to LPF Manufacturing for merchandise with a list price of $1,575, check 523. So let's put in our date, which is 9, and our check number, which is 523. And notice these checks go in order. They need to go in order. Now let's look on here. We wrote check to LPF Manufacturing for merchandise with a list price. We did not buy this on account. If we were to buy this merchandise on account, that would go up in our purchases journal. However, we're just buying purchases. We're buying some merchandise from this company with cash. So we're not going to list the company name. What we're going to put instead is our purchases account. So we bought some merchandise. We bought it from this company. We're just paying cash though rather than charging it. Purchases is a cost account. It has a normal debit balance, so we will record that as a general debit. $1,575. And then we paid cash, so cash is going to be our credit. When you are in the cash payments journal, you always have to have a cash credit. That's why you're in this journal, because we're paying cash. Okay, on the 12th, we recorded the direct withdrawal of credit card fees from the bank account, $64, memorandum 77. So this is going in our cash payments journal, even though there's a memorandum, because we are paying cash. However, rather than writing a check, the bank is going to take it directly out of our checking account for us. Isn't that so nice? So for this one here, we will have a new account. We will have our credit card fee expense for this. That is going to be our account title. And there was a chart of accounts listed at the way beginning of this chapter, but the bank is taking out, what happens is whenever anybody uses a credit card at our store, we are charged a fee in order for them to use their credit cards. It's something that we take into consideration when we make the prices for all of our merchandise. So credit card fee expense is used whenever we're getting that charge for people using their credit cards for us. And it is for $64, and that was an expense, so that's going to be a general debit, and then that will be a cash credit, $64. Our service charge is still going to be miscellaneous expense for the bank, and that would also be in our cash payments journal. On 16, we wrote a check on account to Westland Supply covering purchase invoice number 516 for $426. No cash discount was offered. That's check number 524. So we're just paying on account. We're paying like a purchase invoice. So what happens is we would buy merchandise on account. We would record that in our purchases journal. When it comes time to pay, we will record that in our cash payments journal. And we can reference our previous purchase numbers to make sure that we are paying the correct amount. So I'm going to put in the date, which is 16, and this is check 524. And since we are paying on account, I am going to write Westland Supply. And there's no discount offered for them, which is fine. So the total amount of $426 that we are paying on account, this will be an accounts payable debit. And then this will also be our cash credit. Remember, every single transaction has to have a debit and a credit every single time. So it's just like when we would normally pay on account. The only difference is we don't have to write accounts payable anymore. And that's just because of our special journals. We know what it is. The last one we have to do is on the 31st. We have to record the replenishment of the petty cash fund on October 31st. This is check 525. So I'm going to put in 31 and then 525. And then we need to find our slip that has the information to replenish our petty cash fund. And that is in our workbook. And it is on page 207. So we're going to use this information here to replenish our petty cash fund. So what we have is we have supplies office, supplies store, miscellaneous, and then we also have a cash short. We know it's a cash short because if it was a cash over, it would be in parentheses. So we're going to have quite a few accounts here to list, and I think I can show most, or try to show this at the same time. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, I cannot. Okay, so we're looking at this from page 207. We have two different types of supplies now. We have supplies office. Those are supplies that are used in the office portion of our business and of our building. And then we have supplies store, and these are used in the actual storefront of our building. And then we also have our miscellaneous expense. And then we have our cash short and over. Even though it is a cash short, or the account title for this is cash short and over. So where I'm getting this is from page 207. So we have our supplies office. We're going to put in all of these amounts listed here. That'll be 48, 15, 57, 18, 47, 64, and then our cash short is listed right over here. Our cash short is $1.05, so 105. And then our total amount to replenish is listed here, $154.02. And that will go on line 6. So this here was a lot of new transactions. Just make sure every debit and credit is equal. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the on your own. But since I am limited for time with this video, what I would recommend you do is to pause and do the transactions yourself. And then I am just going to stop here. So you should pause, and then I will record the transactions, and then you can check your answers with mine. So this is on page 208 in the workbook. The instructions are still on page 266. And the petty cash report, this is on page 212. Okay, so I'm going to go over these just shortly here so you can have them as well too. On the 3rd, we wrote a check on account to Gillis Glass Co., and with that transaction, we were able to take advantage of a 2% cash discount. So we want to put the original amount that was owed to them from our purchase invoice, $2,120. We would take that amount times 0.02, which is 2%. And that will give us our purchase discount credit of $42.40. And when we subtract the two from each other, that will show us how much we actually have to write the check for. So just make sure you put the biggest number, the original purchase invoice amount, in the accounts payable debit column. So that way, after we post, it will not show that we still owe them money. Okay, on the 7th, we recorded the direct withdrawal of a credit card fee from our bank. This one is a memorandum, but the amount of money is still coming out of our checking account. Same with the bank service charge would come out of here and would go in our cash payments journal. Our account title for this is credit card fee expense, and that will be a debit, general debit, and our cash credit. The next one on the 8th, we wrote a check to Taylor Energy for our electric bill. That was not on account, so therefore it's going to be utilities expense, which is a general debit, and then our cash credit. On the 14th, we wrote a check for merchandise with a list price of $1,560. That was not on account. And the account title we use for merchandise is called purchases. So that's going to be our account title. Purchases has a normal debit balance, and then we'll record our credit in cash. On the next one, on the 18th, we paid cash on account to Shing Industries covering purchase invoice number 724. There was no cash discount offered. So we're going to write Shing Industries in our account title. We will record our accounts receivable debit and then also our cash credit. So the same as the first one, but there is no discount, so nothing is going in the purchases discount credit column. And the last thing we had to do was to do our petty cash. And looking at our petty cash report, we have supplies-office, advertising, and miscellaneous. And then we also have a cash over because it is in parentheses. So we would write down all of our accounts, supplies-office, advertising expense, miscellaneous expense, all listed as debits. The account title, cash short and over, is still used, but since it is an over, it's going to be a credit. So if it's a cash short, it's a debit. If it's a cash over, it's a credit. And then the amount of cash the check is going to be written for will be on line 6 here, $173.18, which can be found here at the bottom of our petty cash report.